Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has issued a stay in place order for all residents in response to COVID 19. So now this executive order happened on Monday and will go into effect 12:01 a.m. on Tuesday all over the state. So let me give you the details here. Now, the executive order asks people to stay home except for essential services. People will still be allowed to leave their home under very limited circumstances, of course, and that basically, if you want to get, go shopping to the grocery store, if you need supplies and food, you're able to do that, right? You're even also able to do exercise activities so long as you maintain social distancing, right? And so people must adhere to that social distancing measure recommended by the CDC. So you stay at least 6 feet away from other people. You don't gather in large crowds or anything like that. Now, the order also prohibits businesses from requiring workers to leave their homes unless they're necessary to sustain or protect life or to conduct minimum basic operations. So, for example, my wife works in healthcare. She works in an AFC home, adult foster care. That is necessary. So those people without those care workers, those direct care workers, they would not be able to feed themselves, clothe themselves, or anything like that, or generally take care of themselves. So there's food, meds, hygiene measures, all that stuff. So people in that industry are considered to be essential. And so, I mean, those people are also at, I think, pretty great risk because, I mean, it's very obvious that there are people in those homes that can get sick that are very susceptible to things like COVID-19, and so you have to take extra special measures to be able to protect yourself, protect the workers against all that. All right, now as I mentioned before, workers that are necessary. I'm sorry, workers that are necessary include healthcare, public health, law enforcement, public safety, grocery store workers, gas station attendants, etc. Right now, the order also prohibits all public and private gatherings of any number of people occurring among persons outside a single home. You can leave the home for limited necessary activities, or basically take a walk, or hike, or ride your bicycle around, or anything like that, as long as you, of course, stay 6 feet away from other people. So there's that. Now, Michigan is Michigan is pretty high when it comes to COVID cases in the United States. So we will join with California, New York, Louisiana, Delaware, Illinois, and Ohio doing shelter-in-place orders. So there we go. Um, so okay, so I live in Michigan. I actually think that this was not done soon enough. I think we should have done it sooner because here we saw a bunch of cases go exponentially up as testing started ramping up in the state. So it's going to continue to increase here in the state because we didn't do this earlier. Now, look, Whitmer did close down restaurants, nail salons, etc., and some of those other places where people would gather. But I think this was a necessary step. I think it would have been more effective had it been done a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. But we're in the situation that we're in, and what can you do other than, of course, do your best to practice that social distancing and being careful not to endanger the lives of other people. It's less about people who are healthy, which again, if you're a healthy person, you can definitely get sickened, and it can be very, very serious. So don't think that just because you're young and relatively healthy that you're entirely safe. But it's also about protecting older people as well, and those with compromised immune systems, etc. And so that's why this order is in place. And so, look again, this is smart. Follow the order. Make sure that you limit contact as much as possible. Practice that social distancing, and stay home unless absolutely necessary. I think it's a smart step. That's what I've been doing since Wednesday. I have been, completely self-isolated. I'm not sick, but you don't know. You don't know because it does take at least a week, maybe 2 weeks, to know if you're sick or not. So just, practice common sense. And the sooner we do this and get this over with, the sooner we can get back to our lives. So now hopefully Michigan begins working on, as well as the federal government, ways to help people that have lost their jobs, that are not able to work now because of this crisis. And hopefully we can see something on both of those fronts very, very soon. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.